Kingdom Hearts Unchained X. Chi, apparently. Kingdom Hearts Unchained Chi, because Chi sounds like key, like in Keyblade. Anyway, fuck, man, I'm having a blast with this game. It's Kingdom Hearts all the way, with music and graphics and characters and tons of quests and summons and locations and a really complicated everything. It's all there. Except this time it's on a free-to-play mobile RPG. Yeah, I know. Before you cut me off at the knees, hear me out. I've been playing the game basically since the day it launched in the US, and I formed a party with some of my buddies over at the VG nights. First things first though, a party is like what you would expect a guild to be. 30 people, you choose your faction, Unicornus in this case, and you participate with each other by sharing medals. And medals are how you attack or cast spells in this game. You can get up to 5 medals slotted on a keyblade, and your 6th medal comes from your party sharing your medals with you. Each medal can be used as either an attack, or you can consume a certain amount of your AP meter to use the medal as a spell or a special ability, thus giving you a maximum of 6 actions per turn. As would be expected in a free-to-play game, you can level these medals up by combining them with other medals or with special experience medals that have Huey, Dewey, and Louie on them. Each medal comes in one of the 3 flavors, blue, green, or red, and each Heartless in the game is weak to one of the colors in a sort of rock, paper, scissors configuration. You can also level up your Keyblades by collecting materials from doing quests, and by doing so, you unlock more slots for medals, and you level up the bonuses that each slot gives you. Certain slots on certain Keyblades glow a color, and slotting a medal of that color into the Keyblade gives that medal a multiplier to its strength, making some medals do massive amounts of damage. The order in which you slot medals is important too, not only because of these multipliers, but also because some medals have skills that will affect medals later down the line. My Squall medal, for instance, has an attack boost that affects every other medal I have for the rest of the turn, so I slot it in the first position. On the other hand, my Stitch medal's ability deals more damage based on the number of skills I've used this turn, so naturally I'd want it slotted last, except if I slot it in the 4th position instead of the 5th position, Stitch gains a boost based on the green slot in the Keyblade. It's a lot to take in, and it's apparently a very polarizing battle system, but I like it far better than the previous Japan-only Kingdom Hearts mobile game, where you make a deck of up to 30 cards, which can all be leveled individually and they're all drawn randomly. The story quests in the game are fairly interesting, as the entire game is actually considered canon, and the events of this game apparently tie into Kingdom Hearts 3. In true Kingdom Hearts fashion, though, the story is pretty obtuse, and can at times be pretty complicated, needlessly. In plain English, you choose one of 5 factions called unions, and each union is trying to prevent a disaster by hiring heroes to collect a resource called Lux. You'll find a friend in a character named Chirati? I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's this cute little cat-like monster that guides you from goal to goal to familiar locations around the Kingdom Hearts world. As the story in the English version isn't finished yet, I won't be delving any deeper into it. If you want to experience the story, I really recommend playing the game yourself. But as you go through the story quests, randomly, a raid boss will appear. It's an extremely powerful monster that will defeat you in a single hit. You have to use your best strategies in order to take it out. Each raid boss has at least one weak point though, which, when you drain it of its HP, will stun the boss for a single extra turn for each weak point. One boss in particular has a ton of health, but it has 5 weak points, and taking out all 5 weak points stuns him for 5 full turns. And another raid boss has only a single weak point, but it's got really low health, which forces you to plan out your attacks for how to best take it down. The cool thing, though, is when you don't defeat the raid bosses. It sends a notification to each player in your party, which urges them to log on and take down this boss in the next 10 or 20 minutes, depending on whether the boss is a rare variant called an Omega or not. If they log on and help you, both you and the players that help get rewarded in experience, which is Lux in this game, bonus medals, and money. Yes, it's still called money, and yes, it still looks like a hacky sack. The game is free to play, and as such, there are lots of opportunities for microtransactions in the game. But all of the microtransactions in the game are carried out through a currency called jewels. I've been playing the game for a while now, and I've never really felt the need to spend jewels on anything big so far, between the daily jewel rewards and the fact that every 5 story quests gives you 150 jewels. It's definitely helpful to spend those jewels on raising the amount of medals you can hold, otherwise you'll be combining them like crazy after every mission. There are events that appear in the game every month as well. This month's event is for the movie Zootopia, where you can purchase a Nick Wilde or Officer Judy Hopps costume that comes with a 6-star combat medal, or you can participate in a raid boss focused event that gives you coins to spend on a board to unlock plushies of notable characters from the film. I'm currently saving Jules for that sweet, sweet Judy Hopps costume. And speaking of costumes, there's a fair amount of avatar customization in the game. It's all handled through a system called avatar boards. Each story quest that you do in the game has 3 objectives. They're usually to defeat all the enemies in a mission within 1 turn, or to wield a certain keyblade, or take down an optional super tough enemy, or maybe to use all the medals of a certain color. Doing these extra missions rewards you in avatar coins, which you can spend on costume parts, among other things. All of the costumes have a male and a female avatar board. While this means that each costume has a gender-specific look, most costumes in the game are pretty equal in terms of how similar they are between the 2 genders. The big exceptions, though, are the character cameo costumes, like Niku and Shiki from The World Ends With You, and the Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps costumes. Those particular costumes are locked to gender. Anyway, the game has a lot to offer for a mobile game, and it's definitely got its hooks in me. The strategy that you need to get some of the objectives done for each quest encourages replays. There are always events popping up each week, and your party also has a ranking system, which pushes you to climb the leaderboards and take the top spot. As far as mobile games go, there's a lot of depth here. It's a far cry from something like Angry Birds or Candy Crush, and instead it feels like something that, with a little work, could even be adapted into a console-centric experience. It's currently free on the App Store or the Google Play Store. It takes up around 800 megabytes installed and will easily last you hundreds of hours. Just make sure you join Unicornus though. We're in 2nd place and we could definitely use the push to take the lead over those Vulpes heathens. I love that my editing pipeline is just so incredibly slow that in the time it took me to edit this video and then finally throw it up on YouTube, a console version of the game was actually announced. Well, not really a console version of the game, but more so a retelling of the events that happened before and during the mobile game. It's actually going to be included in the new Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Electric Boogaloo's International Space Station edition. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I just wanted to throw this in at the end of the video that there actually is a console version of this game coming, and I didn't completely overlook it. I'm just really slow at uploading videos. Anyway, take care. Thanks. Like, comment, and subscribe if you liked it.